I just did my first shiur in Hebrew. So if Hebrew is your mother tongue and you're more comfortable, check out the same shiur in Hebrew. If you speak English, hello. So many of us have friends, family members, people we know who have this use them and abuse them mentality. The second they're done with us and we have that expiration date, we are no longer requested, needed. They don't spend time with us. They don't bother with us. And these people, they think they're savvy, very clever maneuverers, operators in life. But the Torah deems these types of people as pharaohs. In this week's Parashah Shemot, we learn how a new king, a new pharaoh, arose over Egypt, and he knew not Joseph. How could he not know Joseph? Honestly, this was the Joseph that was only second in command to Pharaoh during the famine. He is the Joseph that saved Egypt from the famine. He's the Joseph that all of Egypt knew about when his brothers came down to Egypt. And he's the Joseph that we know about today. The coat, Joseph, the coat of many colors, thousands of years later. And yet this new Pharaoh didn't know Joseph. And the rabbis teach that it was actually the same Pharaoh with a new mentality, a new way of thinking, a new attitude. The second that he did not need Joseph anymore and the wisdom of the Jewish people, they became dispensable. And even worse, they became a threat. And he turned them into slaves. He bathed in the blood of Jewish babies. This was Pharaoh's way of showing gratitude. And the Torah teaches us a very opposite lesson on how we have to behave in life. It's written that despite everything that the Egyptians did to the Jewish people during their time of slavery, that we're not allowed to hate an Egyptian in our heart. I mean, I don't know about you, but I kind of hate people for a lot less. They embittered their lives so much so that their sighs reached up to heaven. That's pretty, serious suffering. And yet the Torah tells us, commands us, you're not allowed to hate them. Why? Because you once lived in their land. They were once good to you. They once helped you. You once ate because of them. So that's a lesson that we have to extract for our own personal lives. People were good to us. Don't have a short-term convenient memory. Remember, because God is watching and he remembers everything. In Judaism, before we eat, we always make a prayer before we eat, before we drink. But we don't only pray before. Judaism teaches that you have to pray afterwards as well, because it's human nature to say thank you in the process while you're grabbing for the food, while you're starving, while you want something. Thank you and graciousness, well, it just comes easy. But after your objectives are fulfilled, after your stomach is full, that's when you have to show your gratitude and your thankfulness, because that's really when you really mean it. You see, to say thank you in desperation, that's human nature. But to say thank you after, that's being a mensch, that's being a Jew, that's being Am Yisrael, that's being a light among the nations. Shabbat Shalom.